Right, so here's my 1,000 points of Imperial Guard. We have got a battalion, and in this battalion we are running the Cadian doctrine. So it's a bit of a patrol army here, as I said in the mission. Down here we have got our company commander, our warlord. He's a grand strategist, plasma pistol, power sword. Behind we have got a psyker with psychic maelstrom and night shroud, and we've got a commissar there with a power sword and a bolt gun. Behind there we've got a platoon commander, pretty bare bones there. 3 chimeras with heavy bolters and heavy stubbers. 3 guardsman squads here with flamers in each, 2 of which have auto cannons, and 1 here has got a heavy bolter. Moving over to the left side of this force here, we have got a standard hellhound here. We've got a salamander scout vehicle, salamander command vehicle, and 3 armoured sentinels at the back here, all armed differently. No real strategy for this, but this is basically what I picked up and quite like the models. So we've got a plasma cannon here, las cannon here, missile launcher and hunter killer missile there, and that just comes in just short of 1,000 points. Let's have a look at Gavin's ambushing Tau force.
This is Gavin here, and this is my 1,000 points of Tau. I've taken a stronghold attack formation, and I have, for my warlord, I have my Cadre Fireblade. He has through Unity and Devastation. He's paired up with my Tau commander in Cold Star Firearm, Cold Star armor. He's got 3 fusion blasters and a shield generator. Up front I have 2 squads of fire warriors, strike teams, consisting of 9 fire warriors and a Shazu with a marker light. I've got 6 pathfinders, all standard there. I've got 2 ghost kills with their stealth drones. They've both got cyclonic iron rakes and 2 fusion blasters, as well as shield generators and target lock. Then just to the left I've got 2 broadsides with high yield missile pods and smart missile systems. Both have got advanced targeting and a seeker missile each. So that's my 1,000 points of Tau.
This is Dom from BlackToad Studios, and today we are starting a nice narrative campaign of Astra Militarum versus the Tau Empire. It will be taking place on the planet of Gavos in the Galeras system, and on the planet of Gavos, rebellion has recently been quelled after a bloody conflict. The Imperial forces are triumphant, and of course there are still Imperial Guard forces on the planet in the strongholds. And this mission here, we are going to have a Imperial VIPs being transferred from one facility to another. Unfortunately, they do not know about the Xeno threat lurking in the shadows. Tau forces have made planetfall and have planned an ambush, a calculated strike on the Imperial forces. They are coming in and they are hopefully going to be decapitating the Imperial forces before they have a chance to respond. So we are going to be playing an ambush mission of sorts today, where the Imperial forces will be deploying on this road, and Tau forces have got up close and they're going to be letting loose fire upon the Imperial defenders. Now let's have a look at the forces that we are bringing today. Right, so both forces have now deployed. Guard deployed first, and if you see here, there is a convoy throughout the town here, led up by the Salamander scout vehicle, a couple of sentinels on the flank, chimeras in the centre, and Hellhound here by this roughly formed defence here. Command vehicle at the rear there. On board the chimeras, we have a platoon commander and a guard squad in there, the company commander and a guard squad in there. In the front chimera we have got the psyker, guard squad, and of course when you have a psyker you do need a commissar nearby, and the commissar is on board there. So deployment type was guard could deploy anywhere on these roads here, and the Tau forces could deploy at least 9 inches away. So if we move over to the centre here, in the centre mass, you can see the Tau forces have leapt up and are launching their lightning attack here. So there's a lot of stuff in the centre here. We've got Commander down here, lots of Fire Warriors. Pathfinders found themselves on top of the shipping containers. So I've got a nice line of sight here along the armoured convoy. And down over here, a couple of broadsides down there, getting a nice crossfire down into the front one there, hopefully taking that out. So the mission goes that it is kill points. So each unit killed is a kill point. Also the HQs will be offering double kill points. So the Commissar won't be counting in this, sorry, but you've got the Psyker and the Company Commander. And of course it works the same for the Tau as well. The Guard have got to try and kill off the Tau, make sure they defend their intel and their commanders. So in this mission as well, the Ambusher will be going first, although they are going to be going up against a +1 save for the armoured convoy as it rolls through, as the Tau force is kind of leaping up, not necessarily getting the best shots off at the moment. Right, so unless Guard, of course, can seize. So here we go. Here comes the 6. Please, please, please. Oh, Guard, go first. Moving on to Guard, turn 1. Turn 1 movement for the Imperial Guard. So the convoy has remained still at the moment, trying to assess the threat ahead. Although the guardsmen have all disembarked from their chimeras. The officers have retreated slightly behind the chimeras at the moment, but they are kind of being wary at the moment. So we're going to move into turn 1 psychic and shooting for the Imperial Guard. Right, so end of turn 1 psychic and shooting. Right, so in the psychic phase, we tried to cast Night Shroud from the psychic there onto the Salamander scout vehicle. Unfortunately, we failed. Warp Charge 6 apparently is quite a hard thing to achieve, and we weren't able to do anything there. So as I said, all these guys have disembarked. The las guns were going into these guys up here and pretty much killed them all. Unfortunately, they did fail in morale and died. Down here as well, these squads fired everything they had down here into this Fire Warrior squad and to this one here. Unfortunately though, we didn't really cause many casualties, and I think only a total of 5 Fire Warriors got killed. They were killed by the Hellhound firing its Infernal Cannon across, lighting them up. Gavin did use prepared defences for 1 command point there to increase his cover save, which really helped. 2 command points, which improved his cover save, which really helped. Also, the heavy bolters and heavy stubbers from the chimeras tried their best to fire into the ghost kill. Being Cadian as well, re-rolling 1s, I thought would help. But as it's quite long range, just -2 to hit. Needed 6s, nothing, absolutely nothing. And finally, down here, the armoured sentinels with the Salamander fired over into the broadsides, only dealing 1 wound from a plasma cannon shot that came in there. And that was it. Pretty poor, really. So a squad of Pathfinders have fallen, which of course is a key part of the Tau army. They've gone, and Fire Warriors are taking a little bit of damage. Let's move into turn 1 for the Tau. Turn 1 movement for the Tau. The Tau forces back here to broadside, mainly stationary in their firing point there, able to put some fire down the road. The suits, however, have all pushed up through the terrain here. Fire Warriors remaining stationary, going to put down some covering fire, but the suits, yeah, all moving up here against the Imperial Guard forces. It's time to fix bayonets soon, I think, for the Guard. But let's move into turn 1 shooting for the Tau. Right, so we're starting off with the Commander here. He's coming in firing 2 fusion blasters into the Hellhound. Good choice. And 1 into the Salamander command vehicle at the rear there. So, Gav, do you want to roll for your... Yep, okay. Hit.
Strength 8.
Strength 8. Toughness 6 here. 7, sorry. Yeah, wounded. And...
-4.
Well, I can't do anything about that. How much damage?
D6.
D6. Oh, painful. 6 wounds. All right, let's have a look what happens next. Next up, we've got the 2 fusion blasters going into the Hellhound there. Do your best, but not that much. All right, both hit. Freeze to wound. 1 wound there, and it's a -4, isn't it? So see how many how much damage you can do.
2d6 to scale the lowest.
Oh, okay, so
that's 5.
5 wounds on there, so 6 wounds remaining on the Hellhound. Right, end of turn 1 shooting for Tau, and there was a lot of firepower coming in here, as you expect. So these broadsides fired pretty much most of their firepower down here, killing off most of the sentinels. This one's down on 3 wounds, but these 2 are now gone. They fired some of their smaller missiles into this squad here, but unfortunately only killed 2 guardsmen. Ghost Kill also joined in the firepower against the sentinels. Now, of course, they're a pretty big threat when it came to high-strength weaponry. This Ghost Kill here fired into the Salamander scout vehicle, taking it down to 2 wounds. Nasty. Bit of damage was taken on the Chimera as well. That's now on 6 wounds. Down across, Fire Warrior volleys came in, and with the mortal wounds obliterated this squad down here. They're all no longer with us, unfortunately. And as we saw here, the commander fired in with his fusion blasters, taking the Hellhound down to 6 wounds and this command vehicle down to 4. So some pretty brutal stuff there. At the end of turn 1, it's both 1 point apiece, with the guard squad over here being vaporized and the Pathfinders up here getting shot and the remaining couple failing morale. We're going to move on to turn 2 for guard, and hopefully they can do something about these filthy Xenos that are across their city. Right, end of turn 2 movement for the Imperial Guard. So down here, Salamander has remained stationary. On 2 wounds, I can't really move him now, so he's staying where he is. The Psyker and the Commissar are moved up, almost hand in hand. Commissar, of course, safety's off and watching the Psyker as he conducts himself. Guard remaining stationary here. Company Commander has moved up here between the 2 squads, ready to issue some orders. Salamander Command Vehicle as well is moving up here to add a bit of support into the main firing line here. So we're going to move on to turn 2, Psychic and Shooting for the Astra Militarum. Right, so we're going to start off the Psychic phase here. We've got 1 power. We're using Psychic Maelstrom against the Ghost Kill here. So it is a charge value of 7. Oh, going to command point this because we might not get a chance. And we still fail. Well, that was good, wasn't it? We're going to move on to shooting now. Hopefully we'll have a bit more luck. Right, so far in the shooting phase, the Salamander, pretty crippled here, still hitting on 6s. It's decided to target those Fire Warriors. Took 1 out with an autocannon round, just exploded him. Down here, the Guardsmen, kind of quite hard to pick targets at this point because of that line of sight blocking terrain there. These 2 fired here, and with this squad here, we're able to finish off the Fire Warrior squad, which were positioned there, which was quite fortunate. The Heavy Bolter and 2 lasguns fired off in here. It did take 1 wound to 1 lasgun that somehow luckily got through there. Heavy Bolters from the Chimeras, as well as the command vehicle and the Hellhound fired into this commander here, taking him down to 1 wound, which hopefully we can deal with in a moment on camera. And same down here, this squad here fired into the Fire Warriors, destroying them. This Chimera also tried to fire and pretty much didn't really do anything to the Ghost Kill there. The remaining Sentinel down here fired off across the battlefield towards the broadsides. With +1 save over here behind that terrain, and didn't do anything, unfortunately. And we used a command point to try and do a bit more, but nothing. So we're going to come across here. We've got 1 guy left. 1 guy armed with a bolt pistol. Junior officer down here, platoon commander. Firing in there. Need a 3. Can we do it? We can do it. We need a 5 to wound. Can we do it? Oh, no. What a shame. So Gavin, sigh of relief there for his commander. We're going to move in now to turn 2 for the Tau. Right, so beginning of turn 2 for the Tau. Gavin has played the automatic repair system on his Warlord there. So on 1 wound, he regained 1. Not a very good roll. Although he has moved his commander behind the 3 Chimera chassis tanks here, 2 of which are quite badly damaged. The 3rd, as of yet, is untouched, but I'm pretty sure that's going to change very soon. Moving across the field as well, we'll see that the Fire Warriors just consolidate their position there in the centre. and the two big suits here are pushing up on the flank here, take the front of the convoy out, and it's going to be pretty brutal, I think. Now, a lot of damage was dealt in turn 1 by the Tau to these tanks, and I think turn 2 here might be the finishing blow to a lot of them. So let's move into shooting turn 2 for Tau. Right, Gavin is starting the shooting phase here for this commander. This commander's going to be the hero of the game. 2 fusion guns in there, 1 into this one here, into the command vehicle. Right, can he do it? Right, I'm going to roll for the 2 first. Yep. Both hit. Freeze to wound. Yep. Oh, -4 AP, can't do anything about that. Let's see how much damage comes in. It's D6 damage each. 2D6. I'll pick the highest. Oh no, let's hope for some bad rolls. 2. Okay, I could survive this. Down to 4. Oh no, gone. Game over. Let's see if he blows up. Oh no! Right, okay, so let's see how much damage. Oh, let's see who's in range first. Come back. Right, so the Hellhound has blown up here, just measured up. The commander is just out, but these 2 tanks definitely are in. It says D3 mortal wounds. Do you roll for this one, Gavin? 2 more wounds. Oh no. And for this Chimera here, 3 mortal wounds. Right, okay. So if we fire the next gun into this one here, Gav. So it's on 2 wounds at the moment. Hopefully a nice cheeky miss here. Okay, and damn, wounds. Doesn't wound. Doesn't wound. You going to re-roll for that?
Yeah, I use my command.
Oh no, it worked. Oh, it's pretty much dead. Let's roll double ones here. Oh no, it's gone. Right, so if he blows up, don't blow up. Please don't blow up. No, okay, good. Okay, so Hellhound's gone. This guy's gone. Let's see what else can happen. And 3 wounds on there. Right, so rest of turn 2 shooting for Tau. As we saw over on the flank there, we lost 2 tanks from the commander coming in, heroically shooting them both from behind, exploding their fuel tanks. Down here, however, there was a very similar story. The Chimera down here was destroyed, killed by one of the ghost kills there. More firepower also was split by the ghost kills into the Armoured Sentinel, even on 1 wound there. Nasty stuff down there. Broadside's kind of quite ineffective, unfortunately. The Fire Warriors fired down into the Guardsman squad down here, killing quite a few of it. Well, killing a couple of them. Luckily, they took cover, so they're able to save themselves. But the guard line is definitely looking quite thin now. A couple of Chimeras remain, both of which have been damaged to a degree. 9 wounds on this one, 7 on that one there. The Salamander is pretty much useless now, although the Tau will not put it out of misery. And the Guardsman squads, like I said, have taken quite heavy casualties. So let's move into turn 3 for the Imperial Guard. Turn 3 movement for the Imperial Guard. After taking so much firepower and tanks exploding in their lines, they're left with almost no choice but to advance on the Xeno. The Commissar's broken away from the Psyker towards the killing machines, joined by the squad behind, perhaps inspired by him. Also hoping maybe someone's going to take some fire here from Overwatch. The squad also have broken the line and moving forward towards the Tau Fire Warriors there, as well as the junior officer there. Company commanders pushed up, as well as the Psyker there. So all the infantry is moving up. Tanks having to remain stationary now, mainly out of, if they move, they're no longer going to be effective in fire. So we're going to move on to psychic and shooting, and hopefully we can do some more damage to the filthy Xenos. So here we are again. I'm going to try it one more time. So psychic Metastorm against this one here. War Charge 7. It worked. And so, right, let's have a quick read up. Roll a d6 on a 2+. That unit suffers a mortal wound. Unless this mortal wound is negated, you roll another dice on a 3+. It's another mortal wound, etc., etc. Gavin is now searching through his stratagems to try and find a way of negating this. So let's come back to this in one moment. Okay, so Gavin basically has given up hope. He's lost all his hair in the search for the stratagem that would help in this situation. Right, so we're going to roll some dice. I'm going to roll a 1 here. I can predict it right now. No, 1 mortal wound. 3+ now. 2 mortal wounds. 4+ now. 3 mortal wounds. Oh, you don't look happy. 5 up now. Oh, no. 3 mortal wounds dealt to this guy. That's a good start. Let's move on to shooting. Right, so the end of turn 3, psychic and shooting. All these guys fired in here and took 3 wounds off, which is pretty good going. Oh no, 3 wounds were done with the psychic zone, nothing there. But plasma pistol came in from the commander, took 2 wounds off there. Firepower coming in here, took out 1 fire warrior. It was very hard going turn. Not much was happening at all, unfortunately. Salamander is well fired. I'm now hitting on 6s. He's not able to do anything against those fire warriors, let alone even think about trying to shoot them. Chimeras in the rear here, firing towards the commander. Didn't do anything there. Very hard going turn. We're going to do some charges in a moment, and hopefully cold steel of the Astra Militarum plunging into the filthy Xenos will be enough. So we're going to move into turn 3 assault for the Imperial Guard. Right, so declaring my charges here. So pretty much a charge across the field here. Salamander is going to be revving into these guys in a suicide charge, followed by this remaining remnant of the squad going to charge in as well. Commissar will be charging in. Psyker back here going to be charging in. Squad's down here. The squad down here is going to be charging, attempting to charge across here into the Fire Warriors. A lot of terrain in the way. Fire Warriors, of course, are renowned for their overwatch. It could be quite nasty. And this officer as well, losing his command element over here, is going to avenge them by charging in here. So let's have a look to see how many charges actually make it. Right, so we're moving the Salamander in. Gavin's rolled for overwatch, and 1 fusion blaster has hit the 2 wound Salamander. Let's see if he can wound. Needing 3. Oh, thank goodness. Whew, right.
Can I use my last command point?
Yeah, you can use your last command point. Oh, no. -4. D6, well, 2d6 damage at this point, isn't it? And pick the highest. Oh, it's dead. It is dead. See if it blows up. No, that's a 2. So he has not blown up. So next up, we're going to charge this squad in to this one here. Let's see if Gavin's Overwatch can do anything at all. End of turn 3 assault for the Imperial Guard. So down here, these guys got in. Unfortunately, Salamanders, we saw, got blown up in Overwatch there, so that went. Commissar and the guys came in. One of the guys, one of the normal guardsmen, was able to do 1 wound onto the ghost kill. Unfortunately, 1 wound is also dealt back to the guardsman there. Over here, there was some damage in Overwatch. 2 died to Overwatch, another 1 fell. So we've got 4 guardsmen here against the Fire Warriors. We killed one Fire Warrior off, but losing 3 on the charge was not good. And next turn, I might have forgotten these guys have got fly. So this could get painful down here. Unfortunately though, Imperial Zeal was too much, and these guys had to charge in, because if they stood back shooting, they wouldn't have done anything because of the -1s to hit. So we're going to move in turn 3 for the Tau Empire. Turn 3 for the Tau movement. Tau Fire Warriors have fallen back here. The suits have jumped, well, the suit that was in combat has jumped out with his counterpart, and they've moved across here, bam, behind the element of command and between the remaining armour. Also joined by the commander down here as well, facing off against the Imperial officers that still remain alive. And yeah, it's pretty brutal stuff still. Broadsides, not really contributing that much at this point, because most of the armour is dead, except for a 1 wound armoured sentinel down there. And so let's move into shooting for Tau. So the broadsides back here are firing their SMSs over, bringing in onto both of these squads here, 1 in there and 1 in there. These Fire Warriors need their support, and here it comes. It's going to be nasty. Right, so into that one there. Right, so hitting on 4s, is that correct?
Yeah.
Hitting on 4s. Right, here we go.
Oh, re-rolling 1s.
Reroll.
Marker light.
Yep, there we go. So we had a marker light as well coming on that as well. Right, here we go. We're on to wound. Okay, not too bad. 4 there. And the AP is
-1.
-1. Right, okay. There we go. Not great. That is pretty much the whole squad pretty much gone now.
Same again.
Yeah, right, so Gavin is now firing same again into this squad here. The SMS, of course, wiping that squad out there. Right, here we go. There's no +1 on these. It's only +1 before because of the marker light. Right, okay, here we go again. Right, oh, blimey. Okay, so 4, we've only got 3 wounds with this squad. Can we make it? No, so both squads of guards meant to be wiped out. Guard forces are pretty much done now, but can they regain some honour? Who knows? Let's carry on to the rest of shooting for Tau. Turn 3 shooting for Tau. It's down here, both of these guys fired into the Psycho in the end. The Psycho somehow resisted. Maybe the Emperor does protect. Unfortunately, he doesn't protect that much because a fusion blaster came in and it just vaporized him and he's gone. As we saw, both guard squads have been killed by the SMSs from the broadsides. And now it's down to the tank killer down here to fire his blasters into both of these chimeras. Both slightly wounded. Both could possibly withstand some hits here. This one, I think Gavin's decided to put 2 into this one here and 1 into this one here. So this one could survive. Probably will survive. This one
blows up.
That could, yeah, that could happen. Right, so do you want to roll? So 2 onto this one here. So 1 hit. We've got no command points left, so there's no more re-rolling. Like a cheeky little monkey. Wounded. -4 AP, so I can't do anything about this. For 2d6. Oh, 6 wounds. It's on 3. This one is on 3. Oh no. Okay, and fusion blaster into this one here. A miss. Chimeras are surviving. At this point in the battle, it looks like the commissar and the company commander will have their own personalised transports. And plenty of leg space. So, Gavin, will you be trying any assaults? Are you not really?
Yeah, I'm going to assault.
You're going to assault in here. You're a leader on 2 wounds, isn't he?
And I'm going to assault your sentinel.
And then sentinel there. Where do you wish to start?
Let's start with the sentinel.
Let's start with sentinel. Right. Okay, let's do some Overwatch.
This one.
Whew, brave man. Re-rolling once. Oh crap. Okay, go for it. I believe that's going to be in there. That's easily 7 inches.
And then the next one.
That's what she said. And the next one in?
10 inches.
10 inches on the other one. Lucky sentinel. Right, we're going to move those into combat there. And final next bit is over here with the company commander. Now, Emperor does protect. I've seen it. I've seen it on t-shirts. Overwatch time. Overcharge. 2 wounds. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. I'm excited. Don't let Gavin know. Wounded. Have we got an invulnerable save for your commander? He's nodding. What's your invulnerable save?
4 up.
Oh no, I can't see it. I can't see it. No. Okay, unfortunately it's a 5. So, Gav, do you wish to roll up for the commander here? And he's in. Right, okay. Let's move into the rest of assault. Right, so end of turn 3 assault for Tau. Never thought I'd hear myself say that. But these guys charged in here. Unfortunately for them, they didn't do anything against this little 1 wound sentinel here. And over here as well, although the Overwatch did look good, the invulnerable save protected him. He fought back. He fought against the commander there. Commander saved. Commander also wounded back, which is quite an achievement. He's only strength 3. And the invulnerable save came in again and protected him. It's quickly becoming my favourite Tau model. So let's move into turn 4 for the Imperial Guard. Turn 4 movement for the Imperial Guard. So the Commissar and the officer down here charging towards the remaining infantry for the Tau forces there, hoping to get in combat and cut them apart. Back here, the company commander has fallen out of combat and pushed back that way. We saw the commander's jets preparing to take off. He decided, actually, I'm going to get out of here and get these chimeras, put a bit of fire support in here and hopefully deal with some damage. Potentially can kill him, but we'll find out. Down here, of course, Sentinel is remaining in combat. There's no point getting out, so we might as well stay in and hope for the best. So let's move in to turn 4 shooting for the Imperial Guard. Starting off shooting down here, we've got the Commissar going up against those fire warriors with a bolt gun, rapid firing. Both hit, freeze to wound. both wounded. 2 saves for the Fire Warriors, please. Come on, both fail. Both pass. And a bolt pistol over here from this officer into them. Hit. Didn't wound. Okay, so it might be the old-fashioned way, getting in combat and cutting them apart. Right, let's have a look to see how the rest of the shooting phase went. Right, so that was the end of turn 4 shooting for the Imperial Guard. There's not many guys left, but these are all potentially heroes of the Imperium. 3 officers of different grades are left. Chimeras fired their heavy bolters and heavy stubbers in here, and lots of hits. Unfortunately, none of those hits were able to be really converted into any real damage. So, Commander still sitting there, getting ready for his next move. So, let's move into turn 4 assault for the Imperial Guard. Right, so both parties got in here. Commissar took a bit of damage to Overwatch coming in, was then able to skewer 1 Fire Warrior. Fight backs, no damage was dealt out in combat there, and so only 1 Fire Warrior fell to both the officer and the Commissar there. Not great. And across down here, the fight continues. The Sentinel somehow in 1 wound is still managing to survive against these 2, doing quite well. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do anything back. So we're going to move into turn 4. For the Tau to see if they're able to finish off the remaining Imperial forces and silence the Imperial newsfeed before their presence is known. Right, so turn 4 movement for the Tau. Both these suits have fallen out of combat with the very wounded Sentinel there, hoping to get it and shoot it finally. Down here, the Warlord has jumped across into this terrain here. I can see what he's trying to do. He's going to be trying to pop these 2. The tank killer. Down here, the Fire Warriors have fallen back from combat. It's not what they do. They're not interested in this. Also, because the broadsides have now moved out of their cover here, they're moving up here. We've got a bit of a bead on this officer, and I'm sure the SMSs will be able to fire on this Commissar and deal with him. So, let's move into turn 4 shooting for the Tau. Right, turn 4 shooting for the Tau. So this goes kill here, fired everything into the Sentinel there, destroying it at long last. The last remaining Sentinel has fallen. This one here fired into the Chimera, blowing that one up. Commander then fired into this one here, dealing 6 wounds. This one's just almost smoking a hole. The crew are bailing out, running for cover. SMS fire came in from the broadsides, firing over into the Commissar, ripping him apart. Tau armour pretty covered in red gore at the moment. And down here, had a bit of fire coming in from the Commander there, taking this officer down to 1 wound. Right, we're going to move into turn 4 assault for the Tau. Right, into turn 4 assault. Attempted charge, 3 inches. Unfortunately, wasn't enough. Overwatch didn't do anything either. Down here, Tau Commander, calculated as always. Also very damaged, and after that last plasma pistol hit when charging in, probably a little bit concerned that it could happen again. So he's waiting for his time to strike again. That is it for the turn 4 for Tau. We'll move in turn 5 for Guard. Right, turn 5 movement for the Imperial Guard. Chimera almost on fire here. Gunners just holding on before they bail out. The driver's already bailed out. He's running for cover behind this already destroyed wreck. So the gunners are holding on, getting the smoke out of the way, getting those heavy bolters and heavy stubbers ready. Commander here moved up against the Tau Commander. And finally down here, the platoon commander, 1 wound remaining. It's going to face off against these guys. Let's see what we can do. Turn 5 shooting for Guard. We're going to start off shooting here with this this tank. It's going to fire into the Tau Commander there. Right, black ones here are heavy stubbers. Red ones are heavy bolters. Needing 6s. Oh, terrible. Not good. All right, so then we're going to move on to the Commander here. Overcharging. He's got to overcharge now. Plasma pistol into the Tau Commander here. Hopefully this will be all we need. No. Oh, goodness. And then 1 more bit of shooting. Let's move across and have a look. Down here we've got the platoon commander. He's throwing a frag grenade into these Tau Fire Warriors. How many shots? 6. Emperor does protect. Right, let's have a look, see if I can hit any. Right, 3's to hit. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 4's to wound. 1, 2, 3. Right, some armour saves please, Gavin. 2 dead Fire Warriors. Nice. Right, okay. Going to move into assault, and potentially this is the last thing we're going to do. But we are guardsmen, we are loyal. Let's do it. Right, so the end of turn 5 assault for guard. Commander charged in here, wasn't able to do anything, but he also suffered 3 wounds in the fight back there. And the officer down here came in, killed one of the fire warriors, but then was also killed by the remaining fire warriors there. A noble last stand for guard, and at that point we are calling it a day there. The company commander down here has now been taken by the Tau forces and is being taken away for interrogation to find out quite how strong the guard presence is on this planet. After said revolt, there are still lots of forces on the planet. There are survivors within this chimera who will be falling back to guard lines to give them as much intel as they possibly can about this new threat on the planet. So that is what's happening. Next time we'll see how the Imperial Guard respond to this Xeno threat on their planet. But for now, this is a very fun game. I hope you've all enjoyed it. This is Dom from BlackToad Studios, and we'll see you next time. Take care.